What's happening, guys? It's Logan Robinson from BucsGameday on SI, and the Tampa Bay Bucs are 1-0 in their preseason game, taking down Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans 29-7. A great defensive performance on that side of the ball from the defense. But this game started off first with a key injury to a key player, with former starting running back Rachaad White going down with an injury. It's a groin injury. He left the field in frustration. He went into the medical tent with trainers and was pointing at his groin. He was then wrapped up, and we did get word that he was going to miss the remainder of the game. That's something that we are going to monitor heavily going into this upcoming season for the Bucs, but that did allow for a lot more of that running back room to come into the game. We saw a lot of plays being made from Sean Tucker, Owen Wright. There's a lot of room there in the running back room overall, but no, did not see Bucky Irving in this game. A lot of the starters were not in this game as well. On the defensive side of the ball, we did see a few, like Ross Dennis was in there, but for the most part, though, starters in this game were not in it. Let's start off first with Emeka Egbuka, your first-round draft pick for the Bucs from Ohio State. Made a big-time grab, 22-yard gain from Kyle Trask. Kyle Trask also had a really good night, took care of the ball well, was able to get down the field. I mean, they put up some good points today. Also, to the Bucs, did have a defensive touchdown as well with the pick six at the end of the game, but still overall on the offensive side of the ball, Kyle Trask was able to deliver and for the most part took control of this game. Sean Tucker found himself a touchdown. Looking over to some of the defensive side of the ball, I would say the defensive side of the ball stood out most, even though the Bucs kind of ran away with this one points wise. But I would say the defense, tons of guys making plays all across the board. Jacob Parrish, someone who we've talked about heavily during training camp, your rookie defensive back, he was flying around making plays, multiple PBUs, and then also too J.J. Roberts, who actually had practically fisted a ball, and it created an interception there for Tyreek Thunderberg. Really nice play there from J.J. Roberts, another player who we've talked about heavily here on this YouTube channel, who has been playing very well all throughout training camp. I think Todd Bowles and this defense and this coaching staff have to be very, very, very pleased with how the secondary has been performing all throughout this training camp and going into this preseason. Owen Wright also grabbed a touchdown here in this game, where there were a few injuries, though, to note on, like we just talked about, Rachaad White. Ryan Miller actually got sent out of the game and had a concussion test, but he then did return, which is good news there, because he was actually a stud for the Bucs on the offensive side of the ball tonight. Also, too, a wide receiver went down with another groin injury here with Dennis Houston, someone who had actually been making some plays and making some splash plays there for the Bucs in training camp, but he went out with a groin injury, something that we will look into a little bit further there. But I would say overall, for an instant reaction like this defensive side of the ball came to play. They were getting to the backfield and causing havoc all throughout the night. You also had Nick Jackson, who had a sack. He's a linebacker, had a sack, and then also had an interception on the next play. He was one that actually stood out the most to me whenever he was able to get into the game. But for the most part, something to monitor is Rachaad White. That's something that the Bucs are going to have to just cool him out for the rest of the preseason. Over at Joe Bucs Fan, they were able to catch Jason Light, the Buccaneers general manager, mentioning before the game on the radio that Benjamin Morrison is going to most likely miss the rest of the preseason due to a hamstring injury. We noticed that he wasn't going to be participating in that Titans joint training camp practice a couple days ago, and sure enough, now it seems like they're going to sideline him and try to give him as much rest as possible. A lot of guys dealing with some injuries, definitely in the hamstring department. So Bucs get it done here, 29-7. They take care of what they need to do. I think going into this next week, we will watch the Bucs go into what should be a pretty fun game, and we'll see how many starters will play whenever they travel up to Pittsburgh, where they'll have another joint practice up there in the Berg. But that's going to do it for the instant reaction. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next video. Thanks for watching.